a deal. So here I was, just like sitting here, thinking like, man, it's 9:01. Usually I've got like 4 or 5 viewers rolled in by now. Go live, notification rolling through. Actually, I think I went live at 8:59 tonight. Well, sorry, I hit broadcast at 8:59 tonight on my broadcasting software, and then there. Can you hear me better now? Went live tonight at 8:59 on my broadcasting software, and then completely whiffed on clicking go live on YouTube. So I was just sitting here talking to myself, just like wondering, like, where is everybody? First day, first timer here, big first timer. My man, Nick Ray. What's up, buddy? How you doing tonight? That's loud. Oh, that's loud too. Yo, yeah. We'll talk about the ghost on the podcast. Is that music too loud? It sounds okay, doesn't it? I've been trying to like get it to cap it like right around -20 on my broadcast software here. Yeah. We can totally talk about the mystery podcast. I was going to anyway. I don't know what happened there. I was in full blown freak out mode there for a little bit. A little high, not bad. All right, let's do. There. That ought to be a little better. How's the daytime thing going? The daytime thing's going pretty good. Yeah, daytime thing's going pretty good. Getting all settled in and everything. The only issue I've had the last like week or so is just like completely freaking out in the middle of the night. Like I'll wake up thinking, like I'll wake up, look at my phone, it's like 2:30 in the morning, and I'll freak out and think like I've overslept to go to work working midnights, not realizing that it's not time to go to work yet. So then I, just like the adrenaline hits you, you kind of stay up for a little bit. But other than that, we're getting settled right in. And unfortunate for you guys, I am going to what? Damn. I gotta find a new streaming website. I'm trying to watch the Cardinals game. So the Cardinals are playing the wild card game tonight, and they got Scherzer in a pretty good spot. I don't know if I got any baseball guys in here, but they got Scherzer in a pretty good spot. He's creeping up on 80 pitches through 4 innings. And Joe Kelly was warming up in the bullpen, so I feel like we stand a decent chance. Joe Kelly is good, but I feel like we stand a decent chance of, once we get into the bullpen, we can start getting a few more of these guys kind of wore down. Damn, just pulled my. I'm trying to get it pulled up. Let's do. I don't want NBA streams. Oh, Top Streams doesn't do baseball, that's why. Okay. Okay, here we go. I think I'm going now. Now, Q, why would you ask me if you're allowed to watch the Cardinals game and then tell me you're watching the Cardinals game. What kind of shit is that? Kids these days, man. Oh my gosh. Man, did I ever tell you guys this story about the time that I was like trying to watch basketball on the dark web with my mother-in-law sitting next to me? That shit got awkward real fast. Alright, I don't know what to do here. I'm going to talk to you guys while I try and fight this struggle of a lifetime here. I got to get the birds on, though.
It's only 15 walks this year for Joe Kelly.
All right, there we go. Got that squared away. Crisis averted for now, anyway. Until this decides it wants to just lose its mind.
We must pay homage to him.
Okay, sorry, getting squared away here. Minimize this, drag this over here. All right, now we're ready. Eric's at his game at the moment. Hey, that's all right, as long as you ain't watching the Dodgers play. We ain't trying to watch the Dodgers play right now. Hell no, I don't have cable. Why? See, listen. I guess if I had like regular, even like a basic cable package, I probably would be able to get the game. But no, I ain't about that life. If you can stream it on the internet for free, why wouldn't you? And I do split YouTube TV with Gabe. Oh, pickle. I do split YouTube TV with Gabe, and he's, logged into a couple of our Fire Sticks, but honestly, I just never took the time to get like the login from him to be able to log in anywhere. Because I think he's got the premium package that you can log in with, I think 6 different devices or something like that at once. So that's what I was watching. I was watching it in the other room, but something about a podcast and you guys like listening to it. I don't know. So Jason says that he wants to hear the story about the time that I was watching basketball on the dark web and my mother-in-law was sitting next to me. Let me tell you something. I think I have told this story, but I'm going to tell it again anyway because it's really funny. So I'm sitting there. It's been a minute now. So it's not like exact details. If somebody goes back and rewinds, it might not be the same exact story, but the moral of the story is the same nonetheless. Don't stream basketball while your mother-in-law is sitting next to you on the couch. Like they're in the back of the house, my wife and the kids and my father-in-law, they're in the back of the house hanging out. She comes to sit with me for a little bit and hang out and watch a little bit of basketball and just kind of make some conversation with me. And watching the game, and it freezes. And if you're familiar with streaming online, you understand that shit happens a lot. So it freezes. So I'm watching it on a computer. I've got my PC hooked up to my TV. I've got the wireless keyboard and stuff. So I go to minimize the stream and refresh the page. And again, if you've been on the dark web, you understand the type of ads and things that can pop up, stuff to get you to click on it. I'm explaining to her, I said, oh, it froze. And she goes, oh, is this on the internet? I said, yeah. I said, I'm kind of streaming it from kind of the dark web. It's an illegal stream, whatever. And she's like, oh, not really sure about it. They're not really tech savvy people, which is, they're in their 60s. They're not supposed to be. So I go to refresh this page, and the first thing that pops up, in the corner, I've got a 55-inch TV, and this ad took up at least the top quarter of the screen. bro, I'm talking the juiciest butt I've ever seen in my life. Is like all laid up in a picture, and it says single near you in Moberly or whatever it said, whatever those ads said, he gets you to click on it. Dude, I was like, she just goes, oh wow, oh, she was just like taken back. I was like, oh damn. So like I click off that, I close it really quick, I click off of it. And then like 2 more pop up, like singles near you. And something else popped up below it. You know how that stuff can be sometimes. I was just like, dude, it was brutal. I was just like, kill me now. And she just goes, this is on the internet? I said, oh yeah. I said, sometimes you kind of run into this stuff with the illegal streams. And she was just like, I said, you just kind of click off of it and go on. She goes, my gosh. I mean, she was just like, it was so funny. She's a very modest person and a very like polite person. So like, she didn't really know what to say. She probably just wanted to look at me and say, what the hell? But dude, it was so funny. I'm just sitting here like, God, make this end. And stuff just kept popping up. She probably thinks like, all I do is like watch porn and chase single women in my free time. It was pretty cringeworthy, I must say. But if we get to a certain point here and there's still softball on, we can crank some of that up. The Major World Series is going on right now. I'm sure a lot of you guys are aware of that. It's been live on the Facebooks, at least a better part of the day, I do believe. So the Major World Series is going on. Watched a little bit of that tonight. Then, watching baseball. Then the Sea Worlds starts tomorrow. Got some buddies playing on a couple different teams down there. So I'm going to try and tune in and cheer them on. I might do a little watch party. I don't know if any of you guys have Discord or are familiar with Discord, but I do think I'm going to try and have a little bit of like a watch party type of deal if I can get that figured out. I do believe I should be able to broadcast my screen, and then people can just join the server when I can just add people to the server, like let's say, hey, add me on Discord, yada, yada. And I can add them to the server and they should be able to watch that broadcast, I think. I really need to double check that before I go getting too far into that. But I think I'm going to try and do that because you can only do so much with USSSA Live. I don't want to sit here and stream all night. And I don't want to like stream on Facebook or anything like that. Because technically it is what you might say illegal for me to basically rebroadcast what they're broadcasting, because that's people that aren't paying for USSSA Live. But it is what it is. I've seen other people do it and they haven't been in trouble, so I'll do it in private, and if anybody wants to join, they can. But Synergy plays at, I believe, 3 o'clock our time. I think it's 3 or 3:30 our time, which would be 4 out there. So I'll miss the first one. 4:10. Okay, yeah, he knows. I knew it would be something like that. So I think that's Nick. I think that's 4:10 Eastern, which would be 3:10 here, I do believe. So it'll be really fun to try and keep up with them. Synergy, actually, I looked that up earlier. Synergy is actually number 4 in power rankings, not points, power rankings. Number 4 out of 81 teams in power rankings in the tournament. So that's pretty impressive. Obviously, if you're from the area at all and follow much C-ball or play C-ball, you've probably heard about Twisted Lasers. They are number 1. They're going to be good. They're going to be tough to beat, but I think there's a few teams down there just kind of nosing around through records and looking at power rankings and things like that. I think there's a couple different teams that could give them a run for their money. I would like to maybe, like I said, I'm going to try and do the watch party thing, especially once the championship games and stuff start kind of rolling around. So maybe I'll do like a little private watch party. I may post something somewhere, that way I can like send you a link. I could even do like an unlisted stream on YouTube. That way it's saved right here on YouTube and people could view it later. Because if I do it on Discord, nobody will be able to watch it after the fact. I'm not going to host a watch party for no wrestling. That's not even wrestling. That's, what is that, UFC? I don't do UFC, dude. I can do like very minimal, like wrestling stuff. Like mainly, honestly, kind of for the drama and the storyline, and it's impressive to watch. And don't get me wrong, like UFC is, UFC, dude. Those dudes could roll me up in a pretzel and send me out the door before I even knew what happened to me. But it just doesn't appeal. The whole ground and pound thing doesn't appeal to me. I am very much more of a boxing fan. I don't know crap about boxing in depth, like who's fighting. See, yeah, you said that's boxing. I didn't even know. I really do enjoy watching boxing more. It's more of like a finesse, strategic. You got to do more than just hold the guy down and elbow him in the head for 10 minutes kind of thing. I very much enjoy boxing more from that regard. I kind of got that from my grandpa too. My grandpa was been in boxing. When I was a kid, he would watch boxing and stuff, and I would always sit there and watch that stuff with him. You know, as he used to talk about it and stuff. It was kind of cool, getting sentimental on you for a moment. He was having some health issues. He was in the hospital, not doing well. He was just kind of in and out. He was in and out a lot. He was just he would be in just long enough to realize that something wasn't right, and he would kind of freak out and then wear himself out and go back out. But as long as somebody was there that he was familiar with, when he came to, you could kind of reason with him, talk to him, and that kind of thing for a minute. And the doctors told him he'd been asleep for a while, so we got to start waking him up a little bit. We turned boxing on the TV, and me and my dad kind of started talking boxing a little bit and talking about who was on the TV. I don't know where we found it at. I think it was on ESPN not ESPN Classic. It might have just been a throwback on ESPN or something. It was an older fight, and I got to talking about the fighters and you know what was going on in the fight and some of the old fighters he used to watch. It was kind of cool. Like he was laying there sleeping, and he kind of like perks up. He kept his eyes closed, but you see him kind of perk up a little bit, and then he just started having the conversation with us. He was a big time boxing nut, man. He really was. That was pretty cool. Just to get that moment. And everybody's always in for some boxing, no matter what. If you're a fan, you're a fan. That's one of those things you don't ever quit being a fan. But moving on. So let's talk about something real quick. First things first, the second channel has launched. So you need to get tuned into that. Let's see, there's this podcast and one more on this channel. And then everything else will be on the second channel from here on out. You know, it has nothing to do with any kind of revenue. I mean, if anything, it's going to hurt revenue, honestly. What little I do make on this, I won't be able to make over there, because you've got to have certain criteria to meet within YouTube's parameters or whatever to even be able to monetize, and I won't over there, probably ever. But it's not about the money. Really, what it is more than anything, it's just about cleaning up the channel. Like when I pull up my YouTube channel, I don't want people to see like review podcasts. Like a lot of people come here for bad reviews. And what tells me that? The 3,000 views that I get on a video, and the 15 live viewers I have, and the 200 views I have on a podcast. Let me just get that out of the way and away from everybody that don't want to see that. The small niche of people that do enjoy the podcast can just slide right over to the second channel. You don't have to do anything different. It's still going to be live. It's going to be this. I mean, exactly what we're doing right now, just somewhere away from this channel. I'll still promote and push the channel and do what I can in that regard to, you know, maybe like push some new viewers over. And there's always the small chance of more discoverability, just having a second channel out there. But that's really not the main motivating factor. The main motivating factor is just to clean this channel up. And I am working on finalizing getting this hosted somewhere that you can just kind of plug and play. You know, you don't have to go to YouTube, and you know, if you have YouTube Premium, you can like play YouTube and close your screen on your phone or anything like that. Should be able to be downloaded, and you can listen to it that way. For the guys that not necessarily can't catch it live, or even if you're catching it later, you don't have to have YouTube pulled up. You can just, find it, click on it, and rock and roll. So I'll keep the same season. It's still going to be season 6. I guess episode 38 will be the first one on the new channel. So, everything will be the same in that regard. I even thought about seeing about transitioning all of the previous seasons of podcast to that channel, but that sounds like a lot of freaking work. But it'll be up. I'll put these, as a matter of fact, we
must pay homage to him.
Oh boy. Oh, we're up to 28 subs on the other channel. Look at that. You guys are out of control. Just absolutely out of control. There is the link to the second channel. It is pinned. So if you haven't yet, go over there and subscribe. Turn on the notifications. Same deal as right here. Just going to be somewhere different. So there's that to talk about. And then, let's see. Switch back. Ooh, 29 subs. Look at that. You guys are out of control. So let's talk about last week's Throwback Thursday. We're gonna go in a. Well, I guess technically the mystery stream was first, but whatever, I don't care. So let's talk Throwback Thursday. I found this group of bats. I think I know for a fact. I had them on the channel. I found 4 old school bats, $100 for the 4. I was like, oh, perfect for Throwback Thursday. Like, I won't have hardly anything in them. I can either sit on them and beat on them in BP this winter, or, get rid of them for $20 a piece and, get your money back out of them at minimum. So I was like, all right, cool. So I get these bats, and honestly, I didn't really do a ton of checking them out because, it's Throwback Thursday stuff. I don't really care. Like, it actually worked out. Like, in the event that something breaks or something goes wrong with it, it's just an added bonus. That's YouTube and destruction go hand in hand. It just, if something's about to break or something's going to get destroyed, you can't look away. You just cannot look away. If any of my car guys in here, if you've ever watched Whistling Diesel, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I was like, whatever, if they break, they break. I wasn't really concerned about the shape they were in. I just need them to last 100-ish swings so we can get some content on them. So there was a Mayhem, a Craze, a Dan Smith Combat, and a Jeff Hall Titan. And I wanted to do the Mayhem first. It was an old Jeff Hall 120. And I was like, oh, cool, because that was the first bat that, like, I not the first bat I bought, but the first bat that, like, we bought as a team, and we all beat the crap out of. We all handed it around. We all went and took BP, and we all passed it around. So there's a lot of, like, good memories there for that model of bat. So I was like, oh, I'm going to do it first. And I get to looking at it, and I noticed right away that the knob of the bat looks like it has just had the absolute crap bludgeoned out of it. Let me see if I can get these pictures pulled up here. So let me go here. Slide this over. So the end of this thing looked like it had the absolute crap beat out of it. I was like, okay, so could be a problem. So for those that aren't aware, basically the light above me kind of like makes it hard to see, but right here in the middle is a small metal rod, and really you can't even call it a rod because this is basically how they used to weight the bats back in the day. This rod would be anywhere from maybe about a ½ inch tall to anywhere to maybe an inch, inch and a half, depending on the weight they wanted to add to the bat. And then they would kind of adjust with the end load as well from there. That would basically how the swing weights were made. Every bat was literally the same coming off the assembly line, and then they weighted them as they went. You could take the whole knob. Let's see if I can get a different picture. Okay, I do not have a different picture for the time being. But essentially, the whole handle of the knob is hollow all the way into the barrel. And if you had the proper tools or equipment, you could basically push this little metal rod all the way through the handle and into the barrel. Then it would just roll around in there. Then all you have to do from there, you could take a metal dowel. I've even seen people do it with wooden dowels. Put a little bit of heat into the end cap. Usually put it in some boiling water for a minute. Just hold it above some boiling water for a minute, and then it heats up the glue, and the end cap pops right out. How do I know how to do this? Because I had to do it to a couple of my bats to make sure that they weren't shaved way back in the day. That is exactly why I know how to do this. I bought a couple, and I was like, I'm not too sure about these, and I just had to know they were really good. I wanted to keep them, but I just wasn't 100% sure about them. The guy I was hitting with at the time knew how to get them out. I was like, oh yeah, you just do this, this, and this. He showed me how to do the first one, and it came in handy. There's a couple times that stuff was shaved. I bought a couple of bats at Played Against Sports one time. Like, they looked good. Everything about them was good. One of them was really cheap because it had like a big paint chip on it. But I thought, whatever. And then I went out and took like 5 swings with it off a tee. Took it up to my dad's, popped the cap out, and sure enough, it was cut as all get out. So it came in handy at times to be able to do things like that. And in this situation, just knowing what I knew from that, and just kind of being around the game for a minute, I knew something was off with this. Somebody had been beaten on this. Clearly, I mean, that's had some pretty rough work done to it. And then there was also this. This was tough. If you know these bats at all, you know they came with black end caps. And as we can clearly see, this is an orange end cap with black paint. I mean, I guess the thought was there. You tried covering it up, but you had to think the paint was going to wear off and the orange was going to show. But this bat had a really, really bad rattle to it. So I gave it the benefit of the doubt when I got it. If you remember the podcast, I remember shaking the bat around. I think I even did in the intro of the video. The bat had a really bad rattle to it. And I thought, all right, well, maybe this thing just, is just going to be one of those bats just going to rattle really bad. Some of those did that. And guys used to take the caps out, dump the rattle out of them, and then put the end cap back in because there would be umpires that were stingy enough to throw bats out when they did rattle. So I kind of thought to myself, all right, whatever. We're just going to swing it anyway. I guess like giving it the benefit of the doubt is kind of where it's a good thing that this wasn't back in the day and I wouldn't have swung this in a game, because like the first 2 balls, I always bump a couple of balls just to like get a feel for where the sweet spot is. It doesn't take me long just to like get a barrel feel and a little bit of like what feels right. Bump 2 or 3 balls with it, and I bumped one and I was kind of like, oof. And then I bumped a second one, and just the sound that this thing made was insane. I just turned around and I looked at Gabe, and then I looked at Brian. I said, there's no shot. There's no shot this thing is not cut. It all came together. The knob looking bad, the end cap being a different color, being painted over, it all came together. It's like, yeah, there's some shenanigans going on here. And the wind was blowing in, and we were leaving the ballpark like it was not a problem at all. It would have been interesting to swing it on a not windy day, but whatever. I wanted the damn thing to break at that point. This is my first experience with a shave bat, and hopefully my last, unless something like this happens again. But that's also why I'm very leery of buying used bats and using them in games. I really got to be familiar with who or what I'm buying from, or really got to feel good about it just by looking at it. And even, it's a nice thing about having the compression tester that Eric gave us is, we can kind of keep an eye on stuff like that too. If a bat's looking pretty clean and testing really low, you probably got something to think about there. There's a few different things you can look for, but it was an interesting experience, to say the least, to finally be able to swing a shaved bat, see what it's about. And it was, you still had to hit it. You still had to barrel a ball up. You still had to know how to drive a ball. You still had to strike the ball. But the crazy thing of it was, to me, was you could not miss on the barrel. You could not miss on the barrel. And as long as you got I'm talking just enough of the ball, it was kind of wild. And I noticed that if you squared stuff up, like really, really hit a ball in the face, it wasn't like all that overwhelming. It was really just like the glancing blows, or like the nice, easy, smooth swings that really give you the like, holy crap, this is insane results. And I felt like a freaking scumbag up there swinging that thing. And I told myself, I said, all right, listen, like it was evidently clear after a couple of rounds that like this thing was altered. So I told them, I was like, yeah, I said, I'm cutting this half when I get home. I said, I gotta know, and I don't want it laying around. You know, somebody, hey, you know, can I have that? Or, you know, I'll buy that from you, or anything else. Like, I'm just gonna cut it up when I get home. I can confirm what I already think I know and be done with this problem. And one of my very last rounds, I hit a ball, and dude, I thought it should have been the furthest ball that I hit all day long. And it wasn't. And I looked down, it's got a giant shark tooth in it. And at this time, like I said, we didn't know it was shade. We were just suspecting that it was, based on all of the evidence. And I told myself, like, all right, so this thing's about to go. If it is cut, it's going to go really, really fast. And sure enough, it did. We went out and picked up like 20 more softballs, and it didn't even hardly take all those to get it done. Brian put some more swings on it. I finished my round. Brian put some more swings on it. And then, as you saw at the end of the video, 5 swings is all it lasted, with some pretty nasty looking shark tooth stuff on it. And it was in 2 pieces. And we could confirm what we thought we already knew, which was she cut. 100%, no question about it, this bat was shaved. You can tell. I wish I had a picture of an inside of a bat that wasn't, just to kind of like do a side-by-side. But essentially what we're looking for here, I don't know. I don't think my cursor is on the screen. I'm trying to like talk. I can't use my fingers because you can't see my fingers on the screen. But I don't think. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, my cursor is on the screen. So what you're looking for here, if you're trying to identify a shaved bat, is basically these swirl marks. The inside of a bat wouldn't necessarily be smooth, but it would look like something that had came from like a form, or not necessarily a press or anything like that. But basically the carbon and the resin is all kind of put together in, like I said, essentially a press, a mold, you might say. And it would be uniform throughout. It would look all the same. And the fact that this has got a lot of dust in it, and then the swirl marks as well. You can see like the uniform swirls going down through. You can see them all the way running down through here. 100% no doubt. Here's another close-up look of it right here. But I even took my finger and kind of wiped away just to clean out the grooves so you could really see the work that was done there. It was a hack job for sure. But, you know, they did what they did. Dirty, rotten cheaters. Well, what do you do about it? But it was an interesting video, made for an experience that hopefully I don't experience again. But I can now say that I've done it. Not that I wanted to, but there's that. Now, and to my Go Dodgers guy, I'll put you in timeout for a little bit. You keep that attitude up. Let's see. Jason says, I see your picture. I found him on eBay. What do we got? Oh, Lord. Yeah, so Oh, those are actual BBs. Okay. I don't know how to get those to my computer right away to show everybody, but I'll message you back just so everybody's not like, what's he talking about? What's he saying? I can't see. But yeah. So anyway, so the mystery stream. Let's talk about that for a minute. I still don't know what happened there. I don't even have like the slightest guess. So I'm at work, chilling, doing my thing, and I've got my Apple Watch on. And like, dude, it just starts like buzz, just like blowing up. Like, what is going on? So like I look down and I've got a message from Eric and I've got a message from Snacks. And then I've got a couple other messages from some friends of mine that are like, hey, you're on YouTube right now. Live. Did you know you're live on YouTube with a hot mic? I was like, what? So I happen to be working on a computer at work. So I pull up a browser and head over, and sure enough, like, there's my screen capture, just like sitting there. My software is running. I'm live on YouTube. I had like 2 viewers, probably just somebody that, pulled it up and was like waiting for me to come back, and I never did. I don't know what was going on, but I started freaking out. I didn't know what was going on. I asked my wife, I was like, hey, are you home? Did you get on the computer for anything? And she said no, because like I've got my mouse and keyboard. I've got like hotkeys set up, basically. Like I can push one button and it'll do a function for me. And I don't know, maybe like one of the presets is start stream or anything like that. I don't know if one of those got bumped or something was set up with YouTube to go live or something with the software, my streaming software, because it was something with the streaming software itself. It pushed straight through to YouTube. I should have had my dad call me when he got here to see what was going on. But so my wife said she wasn't in the house and she hadn't been on the computer. So I was like, I didn't know what was going on. My immediate thought was I went into panic mode thinking somebody was in the house. Somebody had gotten into our house and was essentially messing around next to my computer or around my computer, sifting through stuff, going through stuff, or, whatever else. And they had bumped one of the hotkeys to start the stream. So I'm like freaking out thinking like, damn, somebody's in the house. Somebody's been in the house. Something's going on. So I called my dad. I was like, dude, he doesn't live. He lives like I think it's 1.6 miles from our house. I don't even think it's that. From our house. I was like, you got to go to the house. I said, something's going on. I said, I'm live right now on YouTube. I said, and be mindful when you go in there. That mic is hot, so watch what you say. My dad is a walking soundbite sometimes. You never know what's going to come out of his mouth. And he gets it, I could hear it in the house. Like at the end of the stream, like it's all quiet and everything. And then the dog starts barking. And then you hear my dad come in there, start fumbling around. I told Dad, I was like, just get in there, unplug everything, turn it off, close the computer. Like, yeah, it's like what somebody said in one of the comments from my sorry post is like, Skyrim's taking over. Or Skyrim is activating or whatever. I don't know what it was. I still never figured out, but we get, I almost said we got it figured out. We didn't get it figured out, but we got the stream taken care of. It's not public anymore. Not that there was anything in it, but it's just, wasted space. We got that all taken care of thanks to him. He came over and hooked us up. So I've been making sure I power the computer down at night so that doesn't happen again. Because it could have been a lot worse than it was. What if we were home, and our kids are being kids and we're being parents and the whole world hears it, and there you are, in a situation nobody wants to be in. But I think what we're going to do now, I'm assuming the major is probably wrapping up for the night. But
win the game.
You. Who's talking about Smash the Sports anyway? We're headbanger around here, kids. But they have pulled Wayno out of the game for those that maybe aren't keeping up with the game or anything else. They did pull Wainwright out of the game. 5.1 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Not bad for a 40-year-old bum. Threw 95 pitches. Oh, got a little bit of a game here. Okay. So let's do a window capture. There we go. So forgive me, I've got to do it this way. Or I won't be able to navigate around on my computer. I can mute the boys here too. Let me go do that real quick. All right, is this good for your viewing pleasure?
They come to the plate ready to do some work for sure.
I tell you what, there are some true athletes there too. The pounding them guys take with their body night out. Whoo!
Definitely. I understand the need, and you know, there's going to be conversation. We've definitely had conversation. There's been quite a few close calls over the course of this event. That one close, and you know, sometimes they don't want to show the replay.
Yeah.
They come out and argue, and they're not going to get him this time. But a beautiful stop that too.
Oh yeah, great stop, black screen.
From Melton, unable to get their man.
What a great play by Melton to come up and dive out, reach out, snap that off, get up and try to make the play. Pulled him off the bag a little bit, but
hello, there we go. Now it's back on.
That's slow pitch softball. It happens, and these guys are good at what they do. They're professional.
I guess it's going to be like that.
Stuff like that happens. You're not going to make every throw perfect. It happens.
Yeah.
So let's do this.
I mean, the throw wasn't bad. It's just a good guy, very fast runner as that ball skied toward left field, and the catch will be made out there for out number 2. So Newton retired for the second time, and Steve Pierce. Pierce has got to go here. You're batting third. You got an opportunity against a very good team. You're 0 for 2 with a couple lazy flyouts.
Yeah, he's definitely due to get an average here.
Yeah, these guys ain't bad at softball.
Like I said, you know, you're chasing 5 runs. You got to start hitting
So let me do this. My computer is pissed.
the ball here. Granted, you know, Smash it's not way out in front, but they can explode at any time and just run away with it.
Absolutely.
Do your team a favor and get a base hit here.
That one in there for a call strike. Able to get ahead here on the batter Pierce.
No-look pitch.
And another fly ball. This one tailing toward left field, but he's going to end with another flyout. So the struggle is real right now at the 3 for Pierce. And on to the dugout will go Purcell, him and his crew. 5-run lead.
So let's go camp monitor 2.
Featuring Lycra cool backing for
Ew, yucky, Smash the Sports. I just pull up Headbanger's website while these ads run.
Triple stitched seam for unmatched.
So I think they got, what's this guy's name? I've seen him on Facebook a little bit. It's gonna sound like a really like asshole-ish thing to say, but I literally don't know who dude is. They call him Rhino the Rep. I've seen him on Facebook a couple of times. Heard people talk, or seen people talk about him, I should say. I think he is in the booth tonight. I think he's been having some players kind of drop in and hang out with him. He's doing a good job calling the game. I don't know that a Headbanger is going to sponsor a team. They do a lot of like military stuff. They do a lot of sponsoring and
0
the game on the
perhaps
military
at the
side of things.
wrong
That's always
time
kind of been their thing.
for this Slugger SVC team. How will they manage in the bottom half after they have
So I don't know that.
where a 0 was put up on the board?
Sorry, I don't know that
Thing in their half of
conference stuff is necessarily their biggest priority. I mean, they may, sponsor something here and there, or maybe something I'm not aware of. But as far as I know, they don't actively sponsor any conference teams.
They can explode at any time. And it's just a vapor trail from there.
Yet again, another thank you.
Yep. Another thank you to Smash It Sports for giving the
How's the sound? Does it
freebie
sound
live
okay?
feed on
Do I need to
Facebook.
turn it up since I'm not playing the music anymore?
Guys, appreciate you.
How about your league night? Yeah, call them and ask them.
Looks like Hagelin going to lead things off.
Ackland's had a solid game. Couple deep drives here in the ball game.
Hagelin's kind of a cheat code, being a guy that
High
primarily pulls the
run
ball.
Lead and a hard shot
In this
the right
stadium.
field to lead off this inning. He'll round thinking about 2, but stop at 1.
I think I will kind of leave the
With a
audio
lead
turned
off
down a
double.
little bit so I can talk. Being in the stadium and, this field is notoriously known for having the wind blow out to right field. The wind is actually pretty stagnant tonight from the games that I've been watching. I haven't checked here now. Yeah, the wind is still stagnant. You can see the flags just standing still. But for the most part, the lefties that live down the line and the lefties that can hit the ball well pulling it, or at least, in the general right field to right center type pull, do really well at the stadiums. And there's teams that pick up lefties just to do things like that. I mean, now Hagelin's obviously a good hitter. He's been at the lineup all year long, but his time to shine is right now. And then Brungart probably just blew one out of here. Ooh. Stood up on him. Just stood up on him. That's a tough, because that's a hell of a swing. Mike says, how can they step so far out of the box and not be called out? To my knowledge, all you've got to be is in the box when the at-bat starts. In the box, back foot behind the plate. Back foot must be behind the plate at all times, not just start behind the plate. Your back foot must be behind the plate at all times. And I do believe you can step out of the box, but you cannot step in front of the plate, on or in front of the plate, which these guys are so far up anyway. They're not going to step on the plate. But being that they're so far up in the box, it's hard for them not to step out. Just is, how big they are, how far they can stride, some of these bigger guys especially. Martell up there swinging an Easton. I thought he was a pure guy, but swinging the Easton, though. Ooh wee. That's a major walk right there. If I see that pitch at that field in that situation, I'm getting rung up 100%. I hate to say there's major strike zones, B strike zones, that kind of thing, but they don't make that call on. Sorry, they don't call that ball 4 on everybody. Okay, so he's been swinging Easton all year. Yeah, I knew he was a pure guy. I just hadn't paid attention to what he was swinging this year. Just he's got one of the new comics in his hands there. Just kind of caught my attention a little bit. Mountain bangs out a single. The game's been going on for a while here. I think they're in this might be the 6th inning. They could look to put up a big inning and possibly short game this thing. I do believe this is the last game of the night, because it is 10:51 there.
The winner of this game will move on to meet the Seminoles tomorrow at 1:30.
Yeah, Seminoles kind of shocked the world today. Ben Dunn, a little bit of gray in the beard, but he don't care. Golly. Listen, Ben Dunn hits the ball hard, but good grief. Man, that's wow. Wow. He don't hit him big like that, but I guess he does this weekend.
He just made that look so effortless watching the replay, and that just looks like he's just putting a light
Okay, so Proton does still play. That's past my bedtime, boys. I can tell you that right now. We're going to watch the rest of this game and probably call her a night. But I would assume that Smash It's looking to potentially end this thing here. Still got one out. Got a ton of good hitters. I mean, they're obviously not going to slow down anytime soon. Got Lulu looking to shoot a gap there. He'll be up on third. Easy with that. Ooh, okay. All right. I guess there's only one out. You don't want to push it too hard. Tim Gilbert says, do I think that short barrel versus long barrel matters more to the conference guys or the rec players? I think it definitely matters more at the rec level than it does to these guys. These guys are at the level they're at for a reason. I mean, they're athletes. They're hitters. They're even the good fielders. Okay, Purcell. Oh, they're good athletes. They're good. I mean, they can obviously hit to some capacity, or they wouldn't be here. And when you get to a certain level as well, consistency is the biggest thing. It's these players aren't here because they had one good tournament. These players are here because they have lots of good tournaments. Lots of good tournaments with lots of good swings and lots of good weekends. And, some people want to rag on, guys hitting. That's crafty right there. Some people want to rag on the guys that hit, 550, 600. And, make fun of them. Oh, you can't believe they're on this team or that team because they're doing that. But you take that guy to a D tournament, and he doesn't make it out all weekend. There's so many different variables that go into, go into those stats other than just looking at the number and saying, oh, he's only hitting 550. He's hitting 550 against the best defenses in the country. He's hitting 550 against the best pitchers in the country. He's hitting 550 with heavily regulated equipment. There's a lot more that goes into that. So, kind of saying all that to say, these guys can all hit. So, short barrel, long barrel, it doesn't matter to them. They're going to square up a majority of the time anyway. It doesn't matter what size barrel you have in their hands. I definitely think the bigger barrels benefit the rec players more. But if you're consistent on striking the ball, my personal opinion of why I swing short barrels is, if you're consistent on striking the ball, the shorter barrels are easier to control. So why not? It's less mass on the end of the bat. Yes, I like end loads, but that's a whole different deal. It's less mass on the end of the bat that you have to navigate. Being a short barrel, I don't know, it's hard to. I'm trying to think of the right words to explain it. But essentially, the mass is all in one spot. It's a shorter barrel, so it's focused towards the end. Got a little bit of a mound visit here. Jason Legault coming out. Yeah, they're talking about it now. They're talking about the short game. Yeah, and Brent, that's also the other thing with the guys that hit, 550 and 600 in the conference. They're also lights out on defense. That was 100% a fact. 100% a fact that, if you're hitting that number and you're still playing every tournament, you're still playing every game, it's because you are ridiculous with the glove.
The finishing touches on this ball game. They're 3 runs away.
I told you, once Smashy gets on a roll, man, they're hard. They're just going to stay on the gas. They're not going to let off, and it's starting to show.
18-6.
Closing in on that run rule here. 15 after. I think it's 15 after 5.
Yes, indeed. And here's Tyler Marshburn on the offensive end.
So 15 after 5. So you're looking at 3 more. Three more to end it. With 1 out. Tyler Marshburn coming up.
Among his 3 at-bats.
Another professional hitter. Probably just hit one out of there. Oh, 100% he did.
Back at the wall.
Dude is so good, man. He is so
Tyler
good.
Marshburn.
So over the slugger sign with a slugger bat. Imagine that.
You set that one up.
Yeah, I set that right up, yeah.
Marshburn, put that in a commercial. A solo job right over that Louisville logo.
I wasn't even paying
It's been
attention. Does he
good
have a
couple
gold
days
glove?
for
I
the
didn't even
brand.
look. Oh, he does, doesn't he?
They're
Damn.
showing
Okay.
out here at the major. Put together a nice commercial
That is pretty
last
sick.
night that made its debut here today. And the squad is 2 runs away from getting this W. The #1 seed, Smash It Sports. Once again, special thank you to our friends at Smash It Sports for the live coverage and inviting our Facebook community to tune into the action here.
That was flat. That was flat.
I was looking down. What did I just miss here?
Jones
That was
tried to
flat.
catch
No,
him
no
asleep,
question.
darted across the
Be mad
diamond.
all you want, man. That was flat. That was a flat
Offer, and
pitch.
He wanted to strike, but to no avail.
Oh, Everett smiling. He's like, haha, you got me. You got me. You got me. You got me.
Got him with the quick pitch, but it was flat.
Everett Williams, he's been smashing the ball. Was he 3 for 3? Yeah, ain't he?
Yes, he is.
But Williams is another one that could just power for days.
He'll swing. Drive.
Line
Ooh,
shot
okay.
right into the shift, and the catch is made for out number 2.
2 down. We're going to get some more softball here, guys.
That'll sting the palm a little bit.
Wolf 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored.
Swinging them Louisville 240s like swinging a 220, bro. I'm telling you.
A 13-run lead for Smash It Sports. New breed
Buddy Wolf coming up.
TBD.
Swinging that fresh
We'll get into
Easton.
all the sponsors once the
Guys,
wrap
Easton or
this
die, I
one up,
guarantee you.
but much
Has been for
respect
years.
will be shown as it relates
It's still so crazy to see him not playing with Clark and the guys, too.
Yeah, they are number 1 for a reason. And it's showing right now. They're staying on the gas, and they're still tacking them on with 2 outs here.
11 runs through their fourth.
Battery
first 4
critical.
innings of play. They put up 8 runs here in the 5th. Bringing the
That's flat.
offense when it matters.
Didn't want him. I don't blame him. Dude's a donkey, man. He can hit the ball so hard.
Lost token.
He's another one of those lefties that would just thrive there.
The game took a turn, or so it seemed, in the bottom of the 4th inning. No runs scored by this new breed squad.
But here you are running into Hagelin again.
Only 1 run allowed. Or,
I didn't do
excuse
it.
me,
I
as
didn't
it
do it,
went
Stro.
into the next inning. And then they come up and put up 8
But
runs
both of these
here in
guys
this home
are
half.
good hitters, great
And they're
hitters.
going.
But you're more likely to have Hagelin miss than you are Buddy Wolf. I'll say that.
Big
Look at this man
Hag.
sweating out there. Look at him dripping sweat. He's working.
3 for
Props to
3.
the guy, man.
Don't be surprised if you see one go off the building here.
He's
Yes,
scored
good
in all
pitch.
3 trips in this ball
Good
game.
pitch.
To walk it off, we'll see if he gets it off the building. Oh, behind the back. Just a bit off.
He's letting everything in the arsenal go.
Yes, he is.
He knows this one is getting close to a finish, and he wants to show off the goods. Does he get
Woo,
the
there it is. Wow.
Oh,
Wow. Hey, hey.
wow. Inside corner, rung him up. Did not see that one coming.
Hey, it's certified grinder right here, bro. Look at this guy.
It's been a tough game
Wow.
out there for this up-and-coming squad, but that's a
Let's see that pitch again.
strikeout
Let's see
he's
that
going
pitch
to
again.
remember for a long time.
Damn, certified grinder right
Look at the
there.
reaction
Yeah.
back on the bump.
That's got Jones fired up now. Let's see if this. We were talking the other night about quietness on a bench. We'll see if it does anything for this Slugger SBC team.
Dumped it in right
Reaction on
there.
The other end, the hitter's reaction. Uh-oh.
Look
down
at
looking
him.
the World Series. You hate to see it. 5 full in the books.
Yeah, the
Number
fact
one, though.
the fact that you can fake and just be that just like wild and out there
Come on back.
and still just dump strikes in is just insane. But while they're doing their commercial break, I'm gonna do one of my own. Hopefully no Smash It ads come up in now and then. I'm gonna run and get a drink real quick. Ouch.
Viper Premium Batting Gloves featuring Lycra Cool backing for breathability, Viper Skin Leather Palm for ultimate feel and grip, triple stitched seams for unmatched durability. Get your Viper batting gloves only at smashitsports.com.
Top of the 6th. And the action underway. A huge strikeout thrown by Jones. keeps his team in the game for yet one more inning as Bogus
Pops one high in the air to left.
a whole lot of white shirts headed out that way, including an umpire. The catch is made out there for out number 1.
They all converge on that one. It brings JL back to the plate here. Shows him to go. He's,
All right, we back.
the new Tyler Martin.
Oh, yes.
I'll just throw that out there.
Jason Legault coming up. Good way to start the inning here.
Oh, is that it? The jerseys might be the nicest that I've seen here in this tournament thus far. We'll give them that.
The jerseys are definitely something you can see coming a mile away.
They know it back in Arizona. I love my jerseys as that one skied toward
Hoo-wee.
the wall out there and the grab is made.
That ball's anywhere but right at him. That ball's down. He cut the crap out of
Both
that.
of these A teams who have had the opportunity to face the top 2.
But Legault being a
I'll tip my
Canadian,
cap. I mean,
he must be staying in the States. Either that or
you look for the W's,
committing
obviously,
to
but
staying in
they're
the States.
showing
Him
heart,
and Steele Lewis both are there. I noticed
some
that.
teams will get into a
So,
matchup like this, they'll feel overwhelmed. Again,
I do believe
kudos
Canada's
to
borders
Chick-fil-A.
are closed up pretty
Small
tight.
victories. They
So,
went all 7 innings against
I'm guessing they've either got to be
Arizona.
for a certain amount of time or quarantine before they go
Might
back,
not happen here,
or
but
maybe
we'll
they're
see
stuck here
how
for a
it
while, or
goes
maybe
together.
they've been here. I don't know.
But this club,
That's interesting,
we've
though.
had some moments here in this game.
I haven't watched this team play this year. This Louisville team
Talked the other day, last night.
has so maybe somebody can answer that for me. Has Legault been there with them all year?
And that'll retire the side. But we were talking about how, some of these teams, they're very quiet. There was no momentum to get the team going. So we got to see if something happens here with Slugger SVC.
Let's see if they can hold them to less than 2 and get into the 7th. We'll be back with the bottom half of the 6th.
Damn, that was quick. That was a quick inning. So what's somebody got going for the weekend? Home runs for heroes. Forgot to tell that story. I'm gonna mute this thing and talk about that for a minute. So home runs for heroes was this past weekend, and we ended up taking second place in the rec division. So basically, there is a competitive rec and beer league, and they said from the get-go if they didn't get enough competitive teams sign up that they would basically excuse me, they would basically combine the rec and comp teams and just give the comp teams a run spot when they had to play the rec teams. And let's see, I'm trying to think. There was 5 or 6 competitive teams, and Sonic ended up winning the competitive, and Tri-Lake Shootout, which was our team, ended up taking second place in the rec. The only team that we lost to the entire day technically won the rec. They almost beat Sonic in the competitive division, even without the run spot. They did take the run spot, but the game was close enough that it almost didn't matter. And the crazy thing was, it was just a bunch of young kids that were was out there grinding. They just never missed a ball, fundamentally good in the field. But they ended up calling the tournament after they had about a 2-hour rain delay in the morning, and then at least a 2-hour rain delay coming in the evening. It was already getting late, and they were pretty far behind. And then they were going to have to start co-ed the next day on time, and it was looking like the men's bracket was going to run into the co-ed bracket game time-wise and push the women's back to start the day. And they didn't want to even entertain that because they wanted to try and get one of them done on time. So they just made the call to basically cancel it from there and give out placing to whoever was where. There was 2 rec teams left. It was the team that beat us and then us. We're the only 2 rec teams remaining. Everybody else was competitive, and Sonic was the only undefeated competitive team. So they got the win there. But it was a lot of fun. Had a blast. Props to those guys for putting up with a disaster of a weekend weather-wise and still getting the majority of the day in. It was very impressive to see. I had a lot of fun with a lot of friends. Made some new friends. You know how the deal is.
So you need 2 here. Do you just free swing? swing. I mean, it's unlimited home runs. You just free
Tommy
swing
Melton
it.
diving in the
I mean,
box.
Yeah, you're up. You're up what?
Not a prolific home run hitter, but he can get out of the ballpark, no doubt.
Drive to left
That's gonna be
field. Back at the wall. Caught with a hand against the
That
fence.
was a close one. I thought maybe for a second that was going to be the ball game.
A little bit too much top hand.
Apologies to our people over at Smash It Sports. We do appreciate you coming live with us. I know this is one of your teams playing, but can we see this SVC squad take this #1 team into the 7th inning? It's just a pride thing. You know,
it really is. It is.
I believe
It's been done.
it's
Probably
good
gonna hit
for
one over the
game.
scoreboard
It's
this
good for
time.
the confidence of these teams, if they know they're just not coming out here getting pummeled every time, they can hang. And they might get into the 7th inning.
We're going to 7.
Neither #1 or #2
Pitcher said
produce a
yes.
run rule here on day 1 as Jones and this SVC squad.
That's awesome. Let's see
they'll
what these
get
guys
to
can
the
do now.
7th. Unfortunately, they're chasing 13. We'll be back with the finish.
Insane dedication to performance. It's been DeMarini's motto and the driving force behind every DeMarini innovation.
Do I have an opinion on Evo Shield shin guards? Ordered a pair, should be in tomorrow. They look like they would be lighter than hockey pads. So I really need to invest in some shin guards. I don't even know what's what as far as shin guards go. I don't pay attention. I see a lot of people wearing a certain style of them, but I honestly couldn't tell you anything about them. As time has gone on and this scale has gone up, it is harder to defend my feet. So I really need to work on making the scale go down and getting some shin guards to try and take care of my feet a little bit in the regard of not getting them blown off with a softball. So maybe you could give us some insight on how the Evo Shield shin guards are. But I do need to find something. I've used to pack around some baseball ones with me and put those on, but I just get tired of like how bulky they are and how much room they take up in my bag.
Waiting in the wings.
Ooh, this will be a good game here. Extreme and Proton. That'll be a good game.
Right.
Mean Green Extreme.
That's real bright. Slow roller toward third base.
Infield single to start the inning.
Oh, yeah, we're back, by the way.
Yeah, we were looking at what was going on
Top of 7.
with our team to come. Extreme.
Motocross shin
Number
guards. Those would be
14
good because they have side
will
protection
take
too.
On Dan Smith Proton.
That would be really good. They're probably not all that heavy.
Ryan Talon kinda
Probably
scooped
some
down the
decent amount
line
of side
there.
protection as well. That's actually a pretty good idea. I never thought about using motocross shin
on
guards.
base. Slugger SVC below. They got to do something here.
Man
Last
swinging the
chance, 3
anarchy.
outs to deal with.
What do you expect from Proton? I mean, again, we still got some action here. Is that one just foul?
Been seeing a lot of the
Former
anarchy stuff out there
four-time
too.
champion in this event. They're coming up next.
You know, I haven't really followed Proton much this year, to be honest with you. I think I haven't followed much of the conference. I've been on the road quite a bit, but you know, they're on their way up. I mean, they're moving up. They've got a good, solid squad, and they're going to make a deep run into this major. In my opinion, I think they'll make a deep run.
It's going to be exciting to see. I know there's been a lot of talk about different internal pieces, but will they have
Tim Gilbert says, "Who's my favorite
the
pitcher
ability
to
put it all together over the course of this
emulate or
next
take
4
pieces
days?
from?" It would definitely have
Will
to be
something
probably be a little bit of Mooch and Purcell
We'll get a first
combined
look at
together.
here coming up next, that Slicker goes
Like
deep
Purcell
to left
will-
field,
Caught at the warning track.
and
At times, when I say mix up his
fair play.
delivery,
Feel out for the
it's
wall and make the grab out
not
there
too
in left field,
exaggerated.
1 out.
but he will mix up his delivery and the style that he kind
Slugger
of
SVC
moves with,
rolling
his
down to the
pacing a
last
little
2
bit.
outs. We're here in the top of the 7th.
Purcell does a really good job
Yeah,
of
losing
controlling
calls,
the game.
which is 2 outs
He doesn't
away
let
from
the game
being
get out of
official,
hand
one of the breakout stars.
in terms of, like, you know, you
Josh
get
Jones.
it's hard to explain.
It's Josh Jones.
I really
He
like
does a good job of managing the other team's momentum, even just being a pitcher. Like, you play at his pace. He may quick pitch you. He may kind of slow down. Like, you'll see him work really, really slow sometimes, and other times he's just grooving. He's going fast, going fast, going fast. If his team's rolling, he will just I'm talking just absolutely pour it on, like right here. I'll see now he's going to slow him down here. He's got a strike on him. He's going to slow him down. Maybe give us a no look here.
They're giving you that third base line. If he can work on that aspect of the game to go
I really
along
like how he changes up his
with
pacing. He'll change
that
up his deliveries, come up in front of the
unorthodox
rubber.
pitching style.
Clark does that a
He's
little
got a
bit too.
future
He'll come up
distance
in front of the
ground ball,
rubber
right
at
to the
times.
ball,
I don't know if he does it anymore, but I know he used
for
to.
2, ring him up, double play.
McClanahan on the.
And then obviously you've got Mooch as well.
That's going to be the ball game.
Mooch does a really good job of playing head games, getting under your skin, driving you nuts. And honestly, I like to do a little bit of that on the mound. Just because if you're thinking about me, if you're thinking about how I'm bothering you or the things that I'm doing, then that means you're not thinking about hitting. And I mean, that's part of my goal is to make sure you don't hit. So if I've got you thinking about me and what I'm doing, that means you're not focused on what you should be doing. So perfect situation where Mooch does a really good job of that with some of the stuff that he does.
Fans of this SVC squad, they will drop down and play at
What is the?
Tubba. Yeah, once it comes out in 2030, yeah, they'll probably be on to a 260 stamp by then.
They beat the other squad. They beat Bay Area.
All right, well, this game's over, guys. I'm gonna head to bed. Thanks for stopping in and checking this out. I know we're kind of getting off track with the softball stuff again.
It's been a good 3 games.
And
I
don't know, I thought it'd be kind of cool to watch. I enjoy watching this stuff. Seems like you guys stuck around to watch it, like you might have enjoyed it too. Matt Clark says he does the sound with every pump. Yeah, Mooch does. Mooch is always making so like he'll grunt. I will not gesture. I've seen him gesturing at people before. If you watched him pitch earlier, he covered his face up and started pump faking, and then held the ball up so the batter could see it, and then like waved with 2 of his fingers, and then kept his glove over his face and threw the pitch. It's like I'm not that brave. Like I don't do stuff like that. 'Cause you're asking to be hit at in that situation, and he does. And I'm not saying that like, I'm going out there looking to wear a softball, but again, if you're hitting at me, you're taking your mind off what you should be doing as a hitter. But I'm also not inviting people to hit at me like that. He is the master of head games, though. No doubt about it. But all right, guys. Yeah, like I said, I'm out of here. Thanks for stopping in and checking it out. I'll probably post on here. I don't want to post on Facebook. With doing a little watch party, or maybe I will on Facebook. Just do something really vague. I'm not going to make any promises on that. You maybe just keep an eye on the Facebook page or YouTube, either one. I'll post something, maybe like some eyeballs, and you can, DM me or something like that. We'll figure it out. Either way, because I was going to do it for a handful of my friends anyway, but hell, if I'm doing it for some, why not do it for all of them? But thanks for stopping in and checking it out, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show. Sweetheart, in case you get it, BP here. Catch you next week.